I've been making YouTube videos going on, it's hard to believe, 7 years or so. When I first started making videos, this was my camera I bought. I remember buying it. I bought it at Costco. It was about $200. And the majority of my content was made on one of these cameras. I've had a couple of them. I thought that was just the best thing. When I go back and listen to the audio and look at the video quality with these cameras, it just makes me cringe a little bit, but that's how we learn. So I was asked in the comments this morning by Mastertown. Mastertown, I have to write names down. Something in my mind will not allow me to remember names. I don't know if it's laziness or I'm just not wired correctly. I have a hard time with it. Mastertown asked if I would show my current camera equipment, the new rig as he said it, the things that I'm using. Many of you have noticed that the quality has changed. There's been some bumpy spots and some hiccups, but it will iron out and it's going to be better. You know, the interesting thing about YouTube is that back in the day, this little camera was sufficient. There wasn't a lot expected of YouTube creators. We could use your phone, you could use some low resolution camera, but as YouTube has become more popular and more people are getting on board and creating content and more people are moving away from traditional media into YouTube, the demand and the need to have better video quality, better audio is constantly up there. And I think it's very important, and that's why I have, as of late, completely upgraded all my equipment. So I'm going to show you some of the stuff that I'm using, but first off, remember, I want to start off that I am a layman. I have no special training or ability to create videos. I'm just self-taught. I watch things that I like, I try to copy them, I try to mimic them, and it's been a learning process for me. None of this stuff matters. All of the latest, greatest, whiz-bang, high-tech equipment matters if you don't tell a story. It would be better for you to use that flip camera or your iPhone or whatever you have and tell a story than to get caught up in this high-tech equipment and lose sight of that. Because that's what happens with a lot of photographers and a lot of YouTube creators, is they think that the equipment is what's going to make a good video, but the equipment is nothing more than an inanimate object. It's a tool, and it's you, the creator, that needs to tell the story. And how you do that, you don't need this stuff. Always. Sometimes I think if I would have started with this high-tech equipment like this and the difficulties of it, I probably would have burned out, because it has taken me years and years to get to the point where I can actually benefit from this. So this is my latest camera right here. This is a DSLR. This is a new Canon 70D. This is a revolutionary DSLR because it has an automatic focus that has not been possible. I'll get you out of frame here. With the old DSLRs. A game changer. Although it definitely adds a level of complexity to making videos. For me, who I shoot my own videos, I edit my own videos, I do everything, it's more difficult. There's just more things to keep in track, but also you have the ability to have a much better outcome and product. So the D70 is the body. Now the lens that I chose, when I bought this camera, I bought it from Costco as a kit. And after doing all the research, I don't necessarily recommend kit lenses unless buying a camera that comes with lenses, because these lenses are okay, but they're not great. And if you've ever used L lenses or professional lenses like that 24-70, it's very difficult to go back. Very difficult to go back. So if you're just getting started, would these two lenses work? Absolutely, it's a great combination. However, when you're in post-production, when you're in the edit and you look at the softness of it and the lack of depth of field and color and sharpness, it makes you sad. Makes you sad. So I have recently upgraded my lens. Lens I chose, very difficult decision. This camera right here, this D70, has what they call a crop sensor. It's not a full frame, it's not a full 35mm. So when you have a lens like this, it's 24-70. What that means is actually is a 1.6 magnification, so it's actually shooting higher in the 30s. So this lens is not as wide on this camera body as it would be on a full frame. So it's all about compromise. So do you go with the 16mm to the range to start with, or do you go with the 24? This here for a walk around lens, I think it has been fine. I wished it was a little bit wider, but that's what it is. But the most important thing is that this is Canon's latest 24-70. It's the f4. That's the aperture. Not as wide as a 2.8. However, the thing that makes it different is it has a fantastic image stabilization. And you need that with DSLR. I don't know exactly why you almost cannot handhold a DSLR in making videos because of the shake seems to be so magnified. And I don't understand the mechanics of it. All I know is that it just is. With this lens that I've been shooting now for a week or so, that is no longer an issue. Yes, it's not as fast as a 2.8, it's at 4 all the way through. However, the image stabilization on it is absolutely brilliant. Brilliant. And it's got macro capabilities, and well, I mean, we could go on and on and on about lenses. I could really geek out on this stuff. Again, I'm not an expert, I just am learning. I have done quite a bit of photography in the past. I've shot Canon and L lenses. I used to have a nice collection of them. I wish I still did. But another thing with the DSLR is that it gives you the ability to change lenses. You know, you can do all different sorts of things. So lens is important. You'll notice the last video that I did was shot primarily with this lens. Magnificent. It's just beautiful. And I'm not using it to its potential. I'm still learning the focus and all that, but I'm getting bogged down. Audio. That is probably the most overlooked thing in video with new YouTube creators is the importance of audio. It's absolutely critical. It's more important, in my opinion, than it is the video. Many of you who watch the videos may not realize how much effort and time I put into the audio, and that's the highest compliment. If you don't notice it, if nothing is distracting you and it just seems natural like I'm talking to you, a lot of effort and goes into that. A couple different things I use. I use 2 different things for speaker. This here is a Rode, it's a professional mic that just basically plugs in. It's called a shotgun mic, and this mic is great. However, it only works on the front. So you'll notice when I'm using this out in the field, this is a great mic if you're going to be kind of a run and gun type of thing. You're going to be out shooting stuff, interviewing people in front of the camera. It's perfect for that, especially in noisy environments. What it's not perfect for is when you have someone in front of you and you have someone that you're talking, and if you're talking behind the camera, that audio difference is very distinct. It's muffled from behind and it's really sharp from the front. So for that application, it's not my primary microphone. It's not what I typically go to, unless I'm out in the field. So what works best for me, and you know, not everyone is going to agree with this, but I've used this for years. There it is the Canon Wireless Mic. You see it on my lapel. I think it's fabulous. I would not ever want to be without something like this. It's very simple. And what I do, this is it right here. So this is the receiver. This is made by Canon. It's the, I don't know what it is. It's the only one that they make. But it's brilliant. It runs off AAA batteries. The thing I like about it is I got Velcro on everything. I get the commercial 3M Velcro so I can mount this stuff. So the receiver plugs into the camera, just like you see right there. And then this is the lapel piece. The lapel piece has a little windscreen on it, which makes a huge difference in the wind, but you can see there's a receiver. Battery door fell off long ago. It takes AAA batteries, goes through batteries like crazy. I change them twice a day. I put a new set in every day that I start videoing. I put another set in towards lunch, because there's nothing more heartbreaking than spending the entire day shooting 100 clips of video or so and having no audio. I mean, it just rips your heart out. A lot of videos that I have spent a lot of time and effort in have not got made because in post-production I realized that something happened. I ran out of battery, microphone didn't work, whatever it was. It's aggravating. It's absolutely infuriating. And those videos never got made because I just didn't have the heart to redo them. Rechargeables, they don't work. They just won't last. I've tried that too. You just have to, it's just part of the cost of production. But that lapel mic, it gives you a lot of freedom in the ability to have a consistent audio regardless of what you're doing, whether you're working on the shop, up on something close right underneath the camera, or you're walking across, the audio is consistent and it's always the same. And it is excellent. Excellent microphone. It's my favorite. Okay, so tripods. Tripods are really important, and I don't skimp on that either. This right here, this rig that you see holding, when I have the microphone on it and the lens and everything as it's set up, $2,500. You can $2,500 to replace that. So are you going to buy a cheap Chinese-made tripod that's going to fall down and break everything? No. For me, there's only one tripod. tripod mounts, swivel heads and all that, it's Manfrotto, the Italian made. I've used them for years. The tripod that I'm filming on right now is one that I've used since I think the 80s or the early 90s, by the early 90s, and it is the best. I'll show you that at the end. But this right here, this tripod, is something I've been using now for about a month, and I absolutely love it. This is a Gorilla Pod. It's their big heavy-duty one. I think it's called the Focus. It's all made out of aluminum, not like the smaller ones, which are plastic, and it is great. And I put a Manfrotto swivel head on here. You need to have the swivel head because as you're laying this thing out or you're wrapping it around a tree, it gives you the versatility to use it almost anywhere. To make that fine adjustment, you have the ball head, and you can make those adjustments, and it's a necessity. And also that gives you a quick attach. You have to have the quick attach on the bottom of your cameras right there. So I run multiple cameras. You know, I use my iPhone in conjunction with this, and having them mount on all my tripods, everything I have has this same mount. So if I need to switch from my 70D, for example, and I want to put my iPhone on, right? I've got the same mount, right? I can snap it on, and it's very quick. They're all the same. Everything across the board is all going to have that quick attach. Because I switch these all the time, and I switch tripods. And you know, when you're doing your own filming and all your own videoing, you need to make it simple, and you need to make it seamless. So super, super important. So this tripod, I just love it. It gives you a secure handle. It gives you the ability to move your camera. It's easy to carry. Your fingers fit really well in the grooves. They're all coated with rubber, so you can wrap it around a tree. You can wrap it around a post. Very strong, very durable. And it's kind of even, as much I hate to say it, kind of you can use it as kind of a selfie stick to get some shots. Very, very nice. Batteries. If you're going to make videos, YouTube videos, using these cameras, you need to have serious assortment of batteries, 3 minimum. And don't buy the off-brand ones. I only buy Canons. I've never had good experience with off-brand batteries. They're super tempting because they're so inexpensive. You know, a Canon factory battery is what, $70? Yee, it's just hard. It's hard to buy a camera and invest all that money in lens, and then you got to go out and buy a couple $70 batteries. But the other ones just don't hold up, in my experience. So that pretty much is I'm going to do another video at the end of this. Stay tuned, because this camera, I'm not going to get into iPhone. We've already covered that. This camera, here's what my take is after using it for a month. It is not a pure video camera. I see what Canon's doing, and I like what they're doing by introducing this and really embracing DSLR's traditional film or still image picture cameras for video. But what it's like is this. It's like a really great, really refined, perfectly ergonomic, wonderful to use still image camera with a video component hanging on the side. Not completely integrated. Pretty much integrated, but not perfect. I really feel that the next one after this is going to have it dialed. It's just going to be the business. It's going to be more of a more tailored towards video. I could be wrong, but that's just the feeling that I get. Just some of the clunkiness and clunky features and lack of features that are so key to videography. But I have found a solution to wipe away almost all of those deficiencies with a third-party hack. It's a super camera hack from Magic Lantern. I'm going to do that at the end of the video. I'll explain that a little bit at the end of this video, what that means and why it completely changes this camera and makes it a pure video creator camera that far excels the camera just out of the box. So I think that's it. Oh, you probably saw the light. You're going to ask about the light. So this is another thing that I've been using that I really like. It's a little light. You can see that that's just a cold shoe mount. It's the same mount like in the top of your camera. So you can see here, if I remove this microphone, we've got the traditional flash mount there, right? This is a GoPro mount that will mount in there. And what this does, this little light, it gives you just the perfect amount of fill light in close-up situations. Let's say you're filming in the dark or whatever. It's a wonderful light. And this is made by Quados, and it's got a rechargeable, it's really well built. It's completely waterproof too. It's kind of made to go with GoPros, but it's got this, it's all aluminum housing. It's got this clever little clip, and this is the battery here, lithium ion, that is rechargeable. And it lasts a good amount of time. You know, doing interviews or filming in dark areas, I mean, it's not going to light a whole room, don't get me wrong, but it is sometimes just enough. And for what it costs, I think it's a super value. It's the Quados, I don't know. I'll put all of this stuff, I'll do a link in the bottom to my Amazon store with all of these products in it, so you can go and look at them, research them, and see if there's anything you want. I think that's it. So part 2, where am I going to put part 2? I'm going to put right there. You can click on this right here. I'm going to talk about the D70 firmware hack, which makes the camera absolutely magnificent, and it's free. That's the best part. You can download it for free. It's open source. All right, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you right over here. I cannot express in words how aggravating and frustrating that is. And for Canon not to put basic audio levels on this camera, which is being touted and designed to use for video creators, is terrible.